Okay, during your 40 plus years as an entrepreneur, what has changed the most and changed the least as far as getting companies launched? Is there a big difference?
So I would say, first of all, this notion that we just talked about of double bottom line is something I take very seriously. And I think about that in almost every investment, and I'm mostly focused on renewable technologies where I believe I can make a difference, but I want to make investments that are good investments. That's just the filter through which I take it. Clearly, the internet and the age of globalization has redefined everything about business. It allows you to compete all over the world, and it allows competitors to compete with you all over the world. So when I started backing a little solar lighting business 30 years ago, we were the only manufacturer in America, and we never heard of anybody else. We were it. Literally today, I get 5 to 10 emails a day from a different name, Americanized name, from somebody in a different Chinese city offering me a different type of solar light. So how did they get me? They got me because they Googled me, they went on LinkedIn, they went on Facebook, they saw that I was involved. And now competing globally is so tough. It's incredibly difficult. And one of the biggest areas that are really tough, of which I accept but I don't minimize, is something called the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. American and Canadian businesses are held to a higher standard globally than competitors. So you have foreign countries that are paying off government officials completely legal. If an American does that, you go to jail. So the global environment has completely changed. So I would say the rapidity and scalability of information that the internet creates and the competitive global nature is one thing. And I'd say the other thing is just the notion of employment laws when you have to take into account diversity, and which is a positive, and you have to take into account fair labor practices and so forth. But at the same time, you know, I don't have to be anti-union or pro-union. I think the unions had a hand in destroying Detroit, which is why Detroit is in such bad shape. But Cesar Chavez may have been a hero for taking farm workers, and equally, the role of unions, I think, is really appropriate. And although unions themselves are in decline, so there's a lot of things that are changing. You know, it's sort of like everything is the same and everything has changed. And I think that's just a good idea is still a good idea.